reminding, which was mentioned in the morning, that I carry a very rich and a responsible legacy too. Being the great-granddaughter of Maharaja Sayaji Rao, it is a very humbling experience because you know the weight that you are carrying on your head. He followed, it was Swami Vivekananda who showed the way and who sparked the light in all of us when he spoke at the religion conference in Chicago so many years ago. Much later, on the 27th of August in 1933, Maharaja Sayaji Rao was asked to open and to be the first speaker and give the opening address at the and the subject was Religion in a Changing World, at the same conference in Chicago. I thought I should take the liberty of just quoting a few sentences of what he said at that time. That was in 1933, but somehow the way the world has been going over these so many years, so many sentences and so many sayings come back to us because they just seem so relevant even today. Besides saying I'm deeply sensible of the honor you have done me in calling upon me to open this grand and great conference. He said, it's a wonderful time to be alive. This is a great time to be alive. Once more, mankind has struck its tents and humanity is on the march. We are at an age of ferment and chaos, but also of transition and awakening. But we need to change the soul. And this is true not only of India, but the whole world. Science has united the world, but it has divided us socially, economically, and politically. Can religion accomplish its spiritual and therefore its cultural unification? I thought that was very powerfully put, and it's so relevant even today. In his few lines in conclusion, he said, "You are wise and far-sighted in organizing this federation of faiths. But I just tell you all, let us each put our own house in order." And that, somehow, that voice came through from everybody today. We need to put our own house in order, and let each bring out its treasury of things new and old for the healing of the nations. It was a message of love and compassion and healing, because I think what were the times at that time, one would really have to read history for that. But today in India, in the world, when we are facing terrorism, we are facing so much discord with different communities, different religions, with different castes. That discordant note is something that is damaging all our borders, but especially it is even bringing indignity to human life, and most of all to women. Women have been at the receiving end, no matter what the problems of the world are, always. And as rightfully said by my colleagues earlier, that the voice of women has to be carried forward in wherever the decision-making is taking place. Nobody asked women when things were divided, when countries were divided, when states were divided. Nobody was there to even say anything. Today we are having problem with all our neighbors. Look at Bangladesh. Look at Pakistan. Look at so many countries which were carved out from different areas. I'm sure the women there are feeling the same as what we feel here. They also are suffering the way we would think. We want to get rid of this terrorism. We want to get rid of this hatred among humankind. And there was never a sort of a divide when women came together. My personal education has been in a Christian convent. I did my graduation in Lucknow, which was a city of Nawabs, and with a lot of Muslim influence. And then I came to Baroda. So we never had, at that time, we who were born just at the cusp of the independent India, we never had any feeling of, of separatism or with anybody of any religion or with anyone when in our growing up days. But I find that much more now, in the youth now, unfortunately. We never felt like that. If I was troubled when I was in the school, first place I would go and pray was in the church, because that was the only place, place of worship was available was the church. It doesn't matter where you are, but you just have to think of God. That is it. And that is how it was. But today it's become so compartmentalized, and we are more divided when we are just so accessible to the whole world with the new technology, with the telephone, with the cell phone, with computers, with everything. Everything is, passed around the whole world in seconds. One photograph goes around the whole place. One message on iTube, and it's there for everyone to read. But where does it bring us closer? We have to think of that. We have to think how we have to bring each one closer, and how the women have never felt because our problems are the same. Whether it is within the family, whether it is within the social circuit, or whether it is within the religious circuit, it's all the same. It doesn't matter. And so we just feel the same. A woman is a mother first. She thinks of every little girl as her baby. She thinks of every little child as her baby. And that instinct comes out, no matter anything else. So I sort of make a special appeal today that in this session, and this who's going to carry our voice to the Parliament of Religion, and that women, one of the major contributions and women in the development of humanitarian ethics has been their ability to reach out to those who have needed compassion and merciful treatment. Throughout history, women have remained the paragon of these divine attributes. And at the most difficult times in familial, social, and now international context, they have, through their own sensitive minds and sacrifices, taught the world how to be human and to care for those who need it. This universal ethic needs to be globalized today. It's ultimately the woman who will teach us to change swords to the plowshares, as it was said. I just want to say with these few words that it was a privilege for me to be standing before you all here today as heading an educational institute now. I especially address the young people, and I'm glad a lot of the students of Maharaja Sayajirao University were present today, whether from the Department of Law or from technology or anywhere. I was happy to meet them. And please, you need to carry this message because education is not enough unless you feel compassion for all, when you feel respect and dignity for women around you, for each humankind. And with these few words, I end my address. Thank you.